Welcome again to the FlexJobs members' Secret to FlexJobs Membership Success. I am Justivia Larson. I am the Manager of Client Services, and today we're going to have Karen and Sheila, who are both Client Services and Support members, who will be going through some very valuable information on how to use a FlexJobs membership very successfully. So today we're going to cover the advanced search options, which will give you the information on how to target your search and best practices to use that. And then we'll also be going through setting up your resume profile. So if you have questions for us, you are welcome to ask questions through the question box, which is on the GoToWebinar control panel. You may need to hit the orange arrow to expand the control panel and to see the questions area. We'll have about 40 to 45 minutes of presentation with time for questions and answers at the end. So we will go ahead and get started with the advanced search option. So Karen's going to do that for us.
Hi, and welcome everyone to our webinar. As just mentioned, we'll start off reviewing the advanced search on the site. So Jess, if you would like to go to the live site, we will start off right there. So this page on the site, you're on your dashboard, and you can find the advanced search on the navigation in the upper left. So we'll click the advanced search. And using the advanced search is really going to help refine your results when searching for jobs on the site. So there's these multiple fields that you can search, and we'll review. The first thing that I want to point out is there's tips in the upper right of each box. So at any time, if you want some tips on what to fill into the box, you'll just click that, and there'll be a little pop-up box to help you as you're working through that. So the first area is the keyword search. So in the keyword area, you want to take note that you can you're going to get different results, and you always want to try different combinations of the same word because you'll get different results. Say, for instance, if you type in writer, because you're looking for a writer position, and then you click search jobs on the bottom, you'll see job search results 1 to 50 of 742 jobs. So just putting in that term pulls up 742 jobs. If we go back to the search and we type in writing and then search for jobs, you're going to see a very different number, 4,928 jobs. So you just want to play around with that if you're looking for those, and be aware that altering that keyword can make a difference when you're running your searches. Excuse me. So from here, we're just going to go through each box, and I'll give a little explanation, and then we'll run some searches and go through the site that way. So exclude words is the same way. You can put anything in there that you don't want to see. Say if you're looking for a nursing job, you could exclude RN. If you don't have, if you're not an RN but still looking for a nursing job, you could select RN in that field. Anything you don't want to show up in your results. The next field that we'll look at is the U.S. location field. Here, you always do want to enter a location when you're searching for jobs, even if you're searching for only telecommuting jobs. That's because our system is going to look in your area, as well as jobs that can be done nationally, U.S. national, or anywhere in the world. So it is important to put either your zip code or your actual city and state within that field. The next box to the right, the international field, is for our international job seekers outside of the U.S. You can choose your particular country where you're residing, or you can select right at the top the jobs that say anywhere. Those will pull in the positions from anywhere in the world. So you can do either one, anywhere or your particular country. The next box is the job types. This is where you can select what you're looking for. Employee. Just to kind of clarify, employee, you're an actual employee of the company. The company generally will pay your taxes. They'll take care of that. They could offer benefits, as opposed to the freelance positions. The freelance positions, you would be working as an independent contractor, taking care of your own taxes, so you're filing those yourself, and Generally, benefits are not offered. You can also search through volunteer, internships, and temporary positions. Those are pretty self-explanatory. And you can put as many in that box if you're searching for both or more than one, those can be added. And the next box over is the work schedule. Again, this is another field where you can put in more than one option. You could look for a full-time, flexible schedule. As information on the schedules, flexible schedule would be meaning that you have the option to choose your own hours, maybe not the traditional 9 to 5, but you have more flexibility in choosing your schedule. The alternative schedule, generally that's night and or weekends. So a lot of people who use our site for maybe a part-time position, in addition to a full-time job, you can try those alternative schedule jobs for nights and or weekends. Occasional could be a job where maybe you're on call. You're not necessarily always there. Seasonal, Christmas jobs, times around the holidays you'll see, as well as short-term and long-term. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Then we go to the category box, and this box is going to pull up every category that we have listed on our site. Again, this is a field where you can put in multiple choices, and it's good to know that every job on our site is going to have one of these categories associated with it. It can have up to 5 different categories. So we really recommend you going to the categories to put, if you can find your field in there and you have the specific, to do that rather than entering a keyword. See, if you enter in the keyword online teaching, but we have it in the categories, it's best to choose that from the category list. And if you want to remove anyone, you just click the X next to it. And again, you can put multiple categories in there. And the next box over to the right, the telecommuting level, this can get kind of confusing for some people because employers will offer different levels of telecommuting. So you'll see what you can choose from here. Any level of telecommuting would be any of those. 100% telecommuting, that would be 100% solely out of your home. No travel, you're not going into the office. Mostly and some telecommuting, those could be you might have to have access to the office. You might be traveling. The heavier travel jobs would be some telecommuting. Light travel would be mostly telecommuting. And then we have the option for telecommuting. That could be a discussion with the employer to see, what level of telecommuting they'll allow you to have. That's stating, yes, there will be some telecommuting, but you're really just going to be having a discussion with that employer for the specific level. And next, the career level box. We do offer entry level all the way up to senior level manager jobs. So you can play around with these. You can go from experience to manager, entry level, wherever you feel that you fit in. The next box over is the travel box, and some people definitely know they do not want to travel at all, so you can select no. Some might be able to travel, might consider it, or yes. You can select any one of those. If you leave that blank, it's going to pull travel and no travel jobs. So that's preferential if you'd like to put that in there. And then our featured and award-winning employers. At the top, we have our featured employers. Those are the companies who've come to our site to post their jobs directly. They have an approved employer account with us. So some people search by those. And then the rest of these are the accolades that different companies have. And some people like to search on specific accolades for companies, maybe Fortune 100, Fortune 500, that sort of thing. That's completely preferential if you want to search that way or not, just another optional field for you. All right, so when you're beginning your search, we do recommend 3 fields to start off with. And Jess, if we could go back to the live site, sorry if I threw you off there. Here, okay, so the 3 fields that we recommend to start off with is your US location. So Jess, if you want to pick a location. Thank you. And then your job categories. however many you'd like to put in there. And then your telecommuting level, let's go with 100%. So we're searching in the Denver, Colorado area for these categories that are 100% telecommuting. When we select search for jobs, our system is going to look within Denver, Colorado, as well as U.S. national jobs. You'll see the American flag and jobs that can be done from anywhere. And a couple of things to point out when we get to this page, you'll see as Jess has her cursor hovering over the flag, it'll tell you what that means. Job open to candidates located anywhere in the U.S. And that red marker is candidates need to be able to work in the city or state specified. So this company, this can be kind of confusing as well. You'll see the red marker and the American flag. Generally what that means is an employer will prefer someone in the Madison, Wisconsin area, but for the right candidate, they will take someone from anywhere within the U.S. And then just on the bar there, you were just there before I started, this little symbol up here, the eye, that's where you'll find the icon guide at the top of the page. So that'll list, again, what the symbols mean. And you'll see at the bottom too, the FlexJob logos. Those are our featured companies that post their jobs right to our site. All right, and on the right-hand side, oh, Jess, if you want to go down to that world one, sorry, anywhere in the world. So you'll see the American flags. You also see this green and blue box. Those are open to candidates anywhere in the world. And if you'll notice on the right-hand side of this page, you can filter. Additionally, you don't necessarily have to go back to the advanced search, but you can filter from this page. So you'll see job type. You'll see if maybe you just wanted employee jobs, you can select employee. And it'll filter out the results for just employee jobs. Anytime you can select more than one of these, and if you want to remove it, you'll just unselect the checkbox. And so as you move down the page, you can filter from this right-hand side here. You'll see the part-time jobs, schedules, you can see the job categories, you can change your telecommuting level, you can see the accolades, career level, and even at the bottom you'll see some different job titles that you can choose from, as well as the travel. So this is an easy way, and you can go back to the advanced search and run a new search if you prefer, but this is a great way to filter from here. And then if you have a search that you know that you want to run each time you come back to the site, you can save your search. You'll see the orange Save the Search box. You'll select that. You'll name your search. And then click Save. And once you have that in, you can go up to the navigation bar if you just want to check again, up to the navigation bar on the top and check Job Search Activity. And then you'll go over to where it says Saved Searches. And when you click that, this is your saved search page. So as we see, our new search is right there at the top. Writing and accounting, it's got today's date. One thing to notice here, if you wanted to delete this search, you could click the X next to the search right there. And if you wanted to sort your searches, the little arrow, up and down arrow on the right-hand side, you can drag those wherever if you want them in a particular order. So these saved searches are really great. Again, if you know you're going to be running these searches often or you don't want to keep going back to that advanced search to fill out the information. And you'll always find it, you can find that saved search area in the job search activity area. From your dashboard, that's always on the top in the navigation page, as well as on that home page you can scroll down. It also has your job search activity, just a couple of ways to get there. There's your job search activity. You'll also see this, your saved jobs, if you save any jobs, any applications that you say you applied, and your recently viewed jobs. So that's a good area of the site. Helpful if you want to look back at your saved items and what you've been searching through. And Jess, I think we're ready to go back to the PowerPoint, if you could, please. And so just a few closing thoughts here and tips on the advanced search. More is not always better. That's why we recommend just putting those 3 fields in first: location, telecommuting level, and your job categories. If you fill in every single field, very specific, you may have a chance of not finding what you're looking for. And the keywords, again, you want to mix them up. And there is a box where you can choose exact phrase. You'll see that over there on the right next to the keyword. You can try that. But again, mix them up, see, because your results will vary. So play around with that. And again, there on the bottom, just recommending those 3 fields to get to start searching with. And then filtering from that right-hand side on the results page is really what we recommend. So that is it on my end for the advanced search, and I'm going to pass it off to Sheila to go over the resume profile.
Well, thanks, Karen, for all that great information on using our advanced search tool. It's a great tool when you're searching for jobs. Another important part of our website is setting up your resume profile. And I'll just go over a couple of slides here, and then we'll go over to the live site to go ahead and create a profile. So the purposes of the profile, first, it's going to help to automate your job search, because once your profile is completed, the system is going to email you jobs that match the information that you've entered. And those are called your new jobs of interest, and we'll go over that a little bit later. You can also apply for jobs with featured employers on some occasions using your profile. You're also able to use our system to create a resume if you don't already have one, and you'll be able to download a PDF copy of that that you can use when you're applying for jobs. And the other thing I wanted to go over is that we have a couple of different employers. So when you're on our site, you might notice that some of the jobs are in orange, some of them are in blue, and this is kind of the reason for that. So we have featured employers, and these are companies that have been screened and approved, and they're actually able to, excuse me, post jobs directly to our website. These employers will have the FlexJobs logo near their title. Their titles are going to be in orange. And then they also have access to your profile. So they'll be able to take a look at your profiles. And then these are ones that occasionally will let you use your profile to apply for jobs. The other type of employer that we have, we call external employers. And these are positions where the title is going to be in blue. These are actually jobs that our job researchers locate. And these positions are also screened and approved prior to them being posted on our website. The external employers, however, cannot add jobs to our website, and they're also not able to search through your profiles. So that's the big difference between the featured employers and the external employers. The other thing with external employers is you'll also typically be redirected to their website to fill out their job application rather than using your profile. All right, so we'll go ahead and go over to the live site and we'll get started. When you first log in just to kind of go over this a little bit, you're always going to be brought to your My Dashboard page. And on this page, you'll notice the navigation buttons at the top, so you can get to the different sections of the website by using those navigation buttons. We also have a drop-down menu in the top right corner, so if you're trying to get back to your profile, you could certainly use that drop-down menu. You can also get to your account settings from there. This is also the page that you're going to have your messages, so any employers that send you messages, they're going to be there in your message inbox. Any new jobs of interest that you have will be here. As Karen mentioned too, this is where you're going to see all of your job search activity, your saved jobs, your applications. And then the last section here is for your profile. If you already have a profile started, you'll see that here. And you can view it, edit it, delete it, all from this page. So if you already have one started, typically you're going to continue to work with the ones that you have, and you'll just use the edit button here. So we'll go ahead and get started on creating a profile then. And you can do that again from that navigation button at the top or the bottom where we just were. All right, so this is what you're going to see when you start your profile. So you'll notice you still have those navigation buttons at the top. You're also going to have a blue box here letting you know the things that still need to be filled out in your profile. So that's kind of a good thing to take a look at. Sometimes you'll see your profile is incomplete. You can't figure out why. You just come back to this page and there'll be an indication there of what you're still missing in order to activate the profile. The other thing I wanted to point out is the same way as we have on the advanced search page, we have tips boxes here. So anytime you're stuck on what you might want to enter in a particular field, you can always click on the tips box for an explanation of what you might want to enter there. And as you're going through your profile too, you just want to make sure obviously that you check your spelling and your grammar. And there's several tabs you'll notice at the top there, the About Me, My Job Search. So we're going to go through each of those tabs to kind of let you know what you should fill out here. So we'll start out then with the About Me tab. All right, so here the first thing you're going to want to enter then is your profile title. And this is just a descriptive sentence about yourself, and just be unique. And again, anytime you have questions about what to enter, just click on that tips box. The next field then is for your contact information. And here's where you'll want to enter the information that you're comfortable with sharing. And you will want to make sure that you have your contact information included so that a potential employer is able to contact you. You are also able to include a link here. So if you have a LinkedIn profile or if you have a professional blog, you can include that link here. It's also important here to enter your city, state, and your zip code, because when the system is matching jobs for you, it is pulling the information from your profile. So you just want to make sure that your location is accurate. And then once all that's filled out, just make sure you save it. The next the next section here is for you to include a picture if you want to. It's definitely not required, but including a picture of yourself is a great way to personalize your resume profile. And if you do choose to enter or upload a picture here, just make sure that it's a professional picture of yourself. So once you've uploaded your picture, then you can just make sure you save it. The next section then has to do with your profile privacy status, and you can kind of read through there to see what profile status would work best for you. We typically recommend that you choose active and private. In that case, it's viewable only to the employers that are approved by FlexJobs to take a look at your profile. Some people come to the site and maybe don't want their employers to know that they're looking for a job. In that case, you might want to choose inactive and private. Just remember that if you do choose to be inactive, when you apply for jobs using your profile, you will have to go ahead and activate it. And then when you're done applying for the job, you can make it inactive again. And then once you choose the status you're comfortable with, you can go ahead and save it. And the next section here is for your home office. A lot of people come to FlexJobs looking for telecommuting jobs, although we do have part-time, temporary, freelance as well. Telecommuting is a big part of our site, so you'll want to make sure that you fill out this section to kind of let employers know what type of computer system you have, what kind of internet connection you have. If you have any other sort of office equipment, shredder, phone, whatever it is, you can enter that here as well. And then just make sure you save it. The next section here is for your military status. If you have any military affiliation, you can put that here. And then that's all there is to the About Me section. And you'll see at the bottom right here, you can move over to the next tab, which is About Your Job Search. Okay, so the first section here then is for your summary of qualifications. And here you can just enter a paragraph or so telling employers what you want them to know about yourself and why you might be a great candidate. And again, this is another place where you can always click on the tips box to kind of get an example of what you might want to enter here. All right, the next section then is for your job categories. And this again is important because when the system is pulling jobs for you, it's going to try to match it up based on categories as well. So you want to make sure that you choose the categories that you're interested in. You can choose 5 categories per profile, and you just want to choose the top 5. If you happen to have more than 5 categories that you're interested in, you could certainly set up a second profile for yourself. So some people might have a medical background and an accounting background, and in that case, it would be certainly reasonable for you to have more than one profile so that you can select, 5 categories per field, per profile. Okay, the next section then has to do with the job details. First, you'll go ahead and choose the types of jobs that you're willing to consider, and you can choose one or all of these. And Karen kind of went over the definition of those job types, so you can choose whatever applies here. The same thing for the schedules that you'd like to consider. The career level you can enter here as well, and you can change this. That's another thing to keep in mind. So once you fill this out, if you feel like you're not getting good matches, you can always come back and change any of this information. The other thing too to keep in mind when you're choosing your career level, if you choose a higher, like a senior level position, you're only going to see senior level positions, then you're not going to see any positions below that, so you won't see experienced or entry level. So that's where you just want to keep in mind that if you do choose something here, you can always come back and change it if you don't feel that you're getting good matches. You can also enter a desired salary if you want. It's not required, but if you do, just kind of make sure that you're in line with your industry. You can also add any other compensation and benefits you're looking for. So those are 2 fields that are not required, but you can certainly enter what you want if you want to enter anything there. Okay, so the next field then is for the job flexibility preferences. And here you're just going to choose what type of flexibility you're interested in. And again, as before, you can choose one or all of them. If you do only want to see telecommuting jobs, because again, that's sometimes what people want to see here, you will not choose anything else, flexible, part-time, or freelancing. And the reason for that is because those jobs may or may not be telecommuting. So if you are only interested in telecommuting, only choose telecommuting here. If you are not interested in traveling, you'll want to make sure that you enter that as well. All right, and then make sure you save it. The next field then is for the availability and schedule. And here you'll go ahead and enter your desired start date, when you are available. And again, you can choose one or all of these. How many hours a week that you're interested in, and then just make sure you save it. And that takes care of the My Job Search section. So we'll go ahead and move on to the Upload Resume section. So here, if you already have a resume that you're happy with, this is where you're going to upload it. So you'll just go ahead and click Add Resume, browse your files, choose it, and upload it. And then just make sure you save it. Once you save it, right there you'll see the name of the file that you've uploaded. You can always, if you want to delete the resume too, I just wanted to point out, if you go back to Edit Resume, you can always delete it and upload another one, so that you'll do that here as well. The other section here is for uploading work samples. So for instance, if you're a writer, you may have a writing sample that you would like to upload. If you're a software developer, you might want to upload a code sample. At this time, we don't you cannot upload audio files, so that's just something to keep in mind, that you can't upload audio. And then that's it for this section. Now, for the people that don't have a resume to upload, this is where you can use our Build Resume section to go ahead and build a resume for yourself. And you'll just go ahead and fill out all of these fields completely and accurately. You just go through each section. So the first one is obviously for your work experience. And here you're mainly going to want to enter the relative work experience. You don't have to enter, 20 years of jobs here, just the main ones that that apply to the jobs that you're looking for. And Jess, if you just want to enter another one, I just want to kind of show too that if you want to reorder these for any reason, you can certainly do that. So if you have 4 or 5 jobs listed here, you can reorder them. The other thing too is dates are required here. If you notice, she has to fill out the date in order for this to save. And that is how it works here. If for some reason you don't want the dates, you certainly could, create your own resume and upload it, but here the dates are required. So once you've entered your work experience, you can also reorder. So if you look at the arrows there to the left, you can certainly reorder these if you need to. All right, so the next section then is for your education, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Again, the dates are required here, or it won't save. If your school, the other thing too is if your school doesn't have a website, or if you don't know what it is, just leave that blank. Don't put NA or anything in there, just leave it blank, because if you do put something in there that is not an accurate website, it's not going to save for you. That's just something to keep in mind too. All right, then the next field is for skills. So if you have any skills that you feel are relative and marketable, you can certainly enter those here. So for instance, if you have computer skills, you can certainly enter those skills here. And you will also want to just indicate how proficient you are in those particular skills. And you can enter more than one if you need to. The other section, the next section then is for your languages. So if you're multilingual, you can certainly enter any languages here that you feel comfortable using in a professional capacity. The next section then is for any certifications or memberships. If you've earned any related professional certifications or you're a member of a professional association or group, you can certainly include those here. If you have any honors or awards that you'd like to indicate, you can certainly do that here. If you've earned them and you feel that they're relevant, you can certainly enter those here. And that's actually it. So then you'll go over to the next tab once you've finished this section, and this is where you can download a PDF copy with all the information that you've just entered in that section. So you'll just go ahead and click on Download My PDF. And then you just go ahead and click on the downloaded file to view it. And this is actually what the employers will see. So this is kind of the format that it puts together for you based on the information that you've entered. And this is also something that you can certainly save. Obviously, we saved it, but you can save it to your computer and use it when you're applying for jobs as well. And so we did go over quite a bit of information here. So to the right here, if you notice, we do have a video that you can watch. So if you're going through it a week from now and you just kind of forget what we've talked about, you can certainly take a look at this short video about how to fill out your profile. All right, so the other thing I wanted you to notice now, so now that we're done filling out all the information, you'll notice that that blue box at the top is gone, so everything has been completed. And if you go back to your dashboard page, you'll also notice that your profile now shows as active. So it's active in green there. And this is also where you can edit it again. So you kind of want to work with one profile most of the time. So you want to edit this. You can also view it, so you'll be able to view and see what employers actually see. If you're trying to look at your uploads, you can do that at the bottom there. So anything that you've attached is going to be at the bottom here. You'll also notice, too, if you go back to your dashboard, that you've now been sent some new jobs of interest. So that's going to be based on the information you've entered. And if you click on all new jobs of interest, you can kind of browse through everything that was sent to you. And you'll also notice on the right there, you may see a job that you don't want or you're not interested in. You can always remove that job. If it is something that you're interested in and you want to come back to later, you can also save the job. And then when you go back to your dashboard page, any jobs that you've saved, as Karen indicated before, are going to be under your job search activity. So you can go ahead and find those jobs and save them, or find the saved jobs and you can apply for anything there. The other thing that we have available to paid subscribers is we have free skills tests, and you can get to those from the navigation bar at the top there. So we do have over 170 tests that you can take. You can take as many of those tests as you want. You're able to retake those tests every 24 hours. If you do score 70% or above, those scores are going to be viewable to employers. And you may have noticed in the employer view that we took a look at that you could see those test scores. So that's something else to keep in mind. The other thing, too, is if you don't score 70 or above, again, that you're going to be able to see it, but the employers won't. And if you're not happy with a score, you can always click this X to delete any score that you're not happy with. So some people score 70, and although that's passing and the employers can see it, they still may not be happy with it. So you can certainly delete that and retake the test again within 24 hours. And that is actually all I have. Jess, did you have anything else to add? Or Karen?
We do have a question. If you're attaching your resume, do you need to use the Build Resume form?
You do not. So the Build Resume section is for people that don't have a resume to upload. So if you uploaded a resume, you can skip over the Build Resume section, and the My PDF section will also not apply to you.
Perfect, yeah, because the PDF does not include any attachments, so it won't interpret any of this information. So great. All right, well, thank you, Sheila. That's definitely helpful to know. There's just a couple things that I want to go over very quickly, and then we'll get to some questions and answers here. So another really great membership feature that we have that a lot of times people overlook or don't realize that we have, so we like to touch on those very quickly, are referrals. So if you are a current FlexJobs member, or even if you're just registered with FlexJobs, you can earn 3 months of subscription by sharing your unique link with your friends and family who are also interested in flexible work opportunity. So the button, I will show you where it is on the live site as well, but this is what it looks like. It'll just say refer a friend today, get a free month. And then another great thing that we have is our special partners offers. These are discounts and savings on service and products that support flexible job searching, better work-life balance, or other related lifestyle benefits. And so we have health, co-working spaces, retail, business resources, travel, and more. And they can be really helpful in helping with your job search or just giving you some options of products that you can get discounts on. And so the special partners offers are up in the navigation. And so things like having your resume reviewed, for instance, we have companies that can go ahead and do that, a couple different resume review. And so they offer discounts to our members for being members and using their services. So you can go through and look through all of these different companies. And then the referral link is just right over here. So if you want to refer a friend, you can do it through email, Facebook, or Twitter. And that also gets you a free month and then a discount off their subscription. So that's our basic kind of additional things that you can definitely look at. One other thing that I like to point out as well is we have a job search tips and help area. This is where we put all of our information related to job search, to flexible work options, flexible benefits, different jobs and companies, some information for flexible workers, any job news, things for finding a job. So this can be really great for cover letter tips, for example, or interviewing tips. And then our resources over here are where we have our job search contests and more information about FlexJobs, and also our webinars. So for instance, this webinar has been recorded and it will be posted on here for you to view at a later date. And we also have that for some of the other webinars that we've done in the past with different companies and different career experts that can be really helpful and give you lots of different tips on how to be a successful flexible worker. So these are updated every day. So definitely recommend, maybe a couple times a week checking over here, because these tips can really make a difference and give you the information that pushes you over the edge and gets you noticed by an employer and potentially gets you an interview. So definitely take a look at those. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the questions and answers here real quick. And we'll start, if you guys want to start sending those over, we will start answering those as well. So one of the questions that just came through is, what is the best format for a resume, and can it be previewed in your system? And the answer to that is anything that's a common file extension, so .doc, .pdf would be what we recommend, something that an employer would be able to open. And Sheila, if you want to touch base with how you could view the documents that are attached.
Sure. So that's where we were back on our dashboard page, right, where you see your resume. You'll just click on View there. Or I'm sorry, where you see your profile, you'll just click on View, and the attachments are going to be at the bottom there. So you just double-click the file to be able to open it and see what you've attached there.
And that's what the employers will do as well. So that's why you want it to be in a common file extension, because they will be able to click that, and you want it to be able to open and for the employers to be able to view. Perfect, thank you. And let's see here. We have a question of how is a employee paid for these jobs, and how would they do a job negotiation?
I can take that one. The pay arrangements are worked out directly with the hiring company, as well as the negotiations. So when you're applying for the jobs on the site, you will always be dealing directly, you yourself, the job seeker, and that hiring company. So you can negotiate with them. Most companies do have their own protocol set up as far as how you will be paid, be it direct deposit, PayPal, or whatever they have set up to do that and get that to you. Again, that's going to be a discussion that you'll have, just because it varies from company to company, but you would be having that discussion directly with the hiring company.
Perfect, great, thank you. And so I've got another question here. Can you attach different resumes to different profiles, or is one resume used for everything?
You can attach one resume per profile. So if you have created more than one profile, so back where we were talking about if you're an accountant as well as you're in the medical field, you can upload one resume per profile.
Perfect. We've got a question. Do you have to stay a member of FlexJobs to stay employed by that employer?
And you do not.
Correct. Yep. You can cancel your subscription if you no longer are actively looking for a job. So you are not required. We're not like a temp agency where you would need to stay affiliated with us. You can come and go as you need positions. So ideally, we would want people to find a position and be able to be happy in their flexible jobs. So yeah, no need to continue your FlexJobs membership. We have a question that how far back should you go on your resume? And the typical response at this point is no further back than 7 years. Beyond 7 years, the chances of an employer having your information or your work history or even access to your file reduces substantially, and it may not be helpful to a current employer to be trying to reach out to someone beyond that threshold. So that's generally going to be the kind of cutoff line for employers to reasonably be able to contact and get any sort of valuable information from a current employer. And let's see here. We have a question, do your approved employers have the ability to search based on our resumes that are uploaded?
Right.
The way, sorry, go ahead, Sheila.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The way employers will search for candidates on the site, the approved employers will be by job category. So they will be, if someone's looking for a bookkeeper, they can search on the bookkeeping job category, an employer, and then any profile on our site with that category will pull up for them to view. So they're not actually searching on your resume, but the job categories.
Perfect. And then how would those employers contact you? Would they be contacting you through email, or would they be contacting you through your FlexJobs account?
If it's a hosted employer, they can contact you through our site, the FlexJobs site, and generally those will copy to your email address as well that you have on file. But here's your message inbox. That's also on my dashboard page. So you'd see a message like an employer is contacting you. I believe it says an employer is contacting you. Something like that. You'll know it's coming from the employer, and that will be in your message inbox. You can pull up the message, and then there'll be, you'll have a reply link, that sort of thing, so you can reply to that employer directly.
Perfect. All right, and then we have a question about training for positions. Do employers offer training for the job? And that really does depend on the employer. It depends on the position, and it depends on what kind of expertise they're looking for prior to you being hired. So different employers will have different training systems and different training requirements. So that's definitely something that you would want to ask an employer when you're interviewing with them, is kind of what the training process would be, so that you can make sure that it's something that would fit with your requirements for time or anything that might restrict your ability to work with them successfully. So we have a question. I'm going to give this to Karen so she can kind of show how to search. Are there telecommuting opportunities for call center rep positions?
Yes. So Jess, we'll go to the advanced search. And when you start to type in the categories, you can enter. As soon as you start to type in call center, and if you go back, Jess, if you type the C again, and then for call, you'll see here as well. You can choose inbound, outbound, if you have a preference. And you do want to make sure that you check all of the ones that you're interested in. So if you just check call center, you may or may not get the inbound or outbound call centers when they come in, because a job would have to have all three of those to one position. So if you're interested in all of those, you would want to select them all. If you're only interested in the call center inbound calls, you would want to remove the outbound call. And then you can select your telecommuting level as 100% and make sure you have your location listed as well. And again, our system will look in your area as well as jobs that can be done from anywhere.
Great, perfect. So that pulls up that type of question for them. That's perfect. So we have a question about what career levels are we seeing? Are we seeing management positions? Are we seeing entry level? And the truth of the matter is we see all of them. It of course depends on who's hiring at the time and what they're specifically looking for. We can obviously only post jobs that are legitimate and vetted and hiring at the time, but you can always go through and select different career levels just to get an idea of what's available. So if you're looking for entry-level positions, you can take a look at how many are there and what they look like, or higher level positions, so management positions or senior level manager as well. So you've got a couple different ways to take a look and see what is open in the different career levels. All right, let's see here. Time for just a couple more questions. So cover letters. How would we do a cover letter if you're applying through FlexJobs? So Karen, do you know an employer that does FlexJobs?
Yes, if you search for DVM Elite, they have all of their applications going through our site.
Okay, so let's see if we can pull them up real quick. Okay, so if you were applying for a DVM Elite position, we'll just grab one of these. At the bottom, you'll see it says apply for this job. So when you click to apply for this job, you'll be taken to an area with a cover letter where you can write that information. We would generally suggest just writing what you would do for a standard cover letter, so that wouldn't include necessarily address or phone number or anything like that. This is going to be more of an area to talk about why you're a great fit for the company, what you like about the company, that type of information. So you really want to make sure that your cover letter is not duplicating the information on your resume, but is giving an employer kind of a more personal idea of who you are as a candidate and why you would be a great fit for them. So you would actually type all of that information in here, and then you have a drop-down area where you can pick which of the profiles you would want to attach to that specific employer, which is great, especially if you've got differing backgrounds where you would have different profiles for different reasons. So you can pick that, and then you would just click this apply for job, and that would send both the cover letter and the profile directly to that employer for this specific job listing. So thank you, Karen. That was perfect. All right, and then we've got a couple of questions about if you were wanting to work for FlexJobs specifically. We do actually post our positions on our database because that we've got an automatic area to be able to list positions. So let me pull something up here real quick. So if you're ever wanting to look at company information, this is a great way. You can also search by companies over here. So our company. Right here. And this will show, we don't have any current jobs open right now, but it will show any past jobs that we have listed. Additionally, you can also find information about our company on our team page. And there's an email address at the bottom where you can look for positions that FlexJobs may have open at the time. Another question that we have, if you have questions, how would you get a hold of FlexJobs? So Sheila, do you want to handle that on how you could get in touch with us?
Sure. Yeah, we're available Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 Mountain Time. And if you scroll down to the bottom there, we have a contact link. So you can either contact us by phone, we also have email, and you can also chat with us online. So we also, if you for some reason wanted to mail something, you could certainly mail to that address as well.
However, that address is not checked very often, so it is much better, as we are an online company, to get a hold of us by phone, chat, or email. Another handy thing on this contact page, just so you know, we've got an area of frequently asked questions, which is a really great place to go if you're having questions about your account or jobs, or if you need additional support. And then we also have some helpful articles as well, so if you're ever wanting to just kind of look through and see some of this basic information that we've found, you know, including like the advanced search option that we've just gone through. We've got some links there as well. So definitely welcome to contact us through any of those methods, and we can certainly help and answer questions. So with that as well, since we are getting to the top of the hour, if you have a question that you have put into the questions box at this time, feel free to send it over to us. Myself, Sheila, Karen, and then the rest of our client services team are happy to answer anything that we weren't able to get to during the webinar. But I just want to thank Sheila and Karen again for taking us through some very important steps on being a successful FlexJobs member. So thank you both for presenting for us. You can, of course, always go to flexjobs.com for more information. We want to thank you all for attending, and we wish you the best of luck in your job search and in your careers.